I've spent over a decade rehearsing and refining phrases that help me communicate with patients effectively and quickly. We're going to go into the 10 phrases that I use most frequently that helps our office achieve over 80% case acceptance without selling out the dental insurance networks and keeping revenue high. Early on in my career, I would spend so much time trying to communicate with patients. I would beat around the bush, go into way more detail than they cared to know about, and really didn't listen to them well to actually communicate what they wanted to hear. Through many failed attempts, through coaches and mentors, through years of practice, I've come up with words and phrases that help me communicate effectively to patients without having to use a ton of words. I've realized that I didn't need more words or more time. I needed the right words and effective tone. So today we're going to go through the 10 phrases that I use most frequently that helps me break through to patients and get them to yes. Phrase number 1. I don't want to give you a solution to a problem you don't have, but I need to tell you what I see. This is perfect, especially for asymptomatic patients who say, I don't have any problems, and all of a sudden you're telling them a problem that they have. It builds credibility. It helps them see that you're trying to be honest and truthful in what you're going to tell them, and helps you pre-frame to whatever you're going to say next. Phrase number 2. Listen, Sally, with your goal of fill in the patient's words, I want to let you know that you are in the right place and I can help you. This is where it's extremely key to listen to the reason why they have come to see you in the first place. I want to be able to eat prime rib. I want to smile effectively in pictures and look nice. I want to be able to go to my 30-year high school reunion and wow people with my smile. Whatever it is, you need to remember what that is said and repeat it back to them. By doing this, you are making them feel heard. By telling them that they have made the right choice and they're in the right place, you help reduce buyer's remorse. Everyone wants to feel good about a decision that they made. And the good news is, even as the doctor and the owner of the office that they have stepped into, you can reassure them, you have made the right choice. We are going to help you with your problem. The third phrase isn't necessarily a phrase in itself, as it is more of a concept that you can apply to any sort of thing that you're going to recommend. And this concept is called price stacking. It's where you go to propose treatment, you give a really cheap option, you give a really expensive option, and then you recommend something in the middle. So let's use an example of proposing a crown. Let's assume this patient has no symptoms, but they have a large silver filling on a molar that is starting to show some cracks. Hey Sally, I want to show you an intraoral photo of a tooth that we took today during your hygiene exam. This tooth has a large silver filling, and as you can see, there's some cracks that are forming that I want to make sure that we address. Now, in addressing this, we can do a few different things. You can go with a new filling. The filling is going to be quite large, but this is probably going to be the cheapest option. The problem is, if you do a filling here, you risk it breaking in the near future or losing its seal or causing you more problems down the road. Now, if we do nothing, there is more expensive and more aggressive options like pulling the tooth, placing an implant, having to put an abutment and a crown in this area. That's probably going to get you into the $4,000 to $5,000 range for treatment. So what I'm going to recommend is we do a little something now. We're going to recommend we do a crown on this tooth to help solidify and hold it in place and avoid things like root canals or implants or extractions down the road. This treatment is going to probably run you between $1,500 and $2,000 if we get ahead of it early. What would you like to do? By giving them options, they feel like, okay, I don't want to go with the cheapest, but I also don't want to go with the most expensive. Middle of the road sounds good. By the time you say the $4,000 to $5,000 range, and then you give them this is going to be a $1,500 to $2,000 range, they already are feeling much better about the price. So practice this with different procedures in your office, whether it's crowns, implants, periodontal care. No matter what it is, you can price stack to help people make sure they feel like they're getting a good middle-of-the-road option that's not too expensive. The fourth phrase is, has this caused you any problems yet? This might sound a bit odd, but if you've been a dentist long enough, you know that there are some things you can almost guess or guarantee at some point is going to cause a problem. By using the word yet, you can start the conversation of, hey, I would rather you do something about this now than having a problem at an inopportune time. Create a little bit of urgency, help the patient know that this isn't normal and that you're going to have to deal with this at some point so we might as well deal with it now before it becomes a problem. The fifth phrase is, I'd much rather you make a small investment now than have a huge cost down the road. Using the differences of the word investment and cost helps them see that this is an investment in their health and their future self is going to thank them. The sixth phrase is, listen, good dentistry is expensive, but bad dentistry is really expensive. This helps pre-frame people to know that good dentistry is an investment. You have to make it. It's not going to be cheap. But bad dentistry, patching things up, constantly getting things redone, it's going to cost them a ton of time in the dental chair, which nobody wants. It's going to cost them more money, and it's going to cost them the mental load of constantly having recurring problems that are having to be dealt with. The seventh phrase is a phrase that we use to make an analogy between dental insurance and medical insurance. If you've been watching this channel long enough, you know that I am not a huge fan of dental insurance companies and the restrictions they put on dentists. But a lot of our patients feel much more secure by having dental insurance. The truth is, dental insurance is not insurance in the first place, and we have to make sure that they know this. So the analogy that I use is the 5-finger concept. So I tell patients, if you broke your hand and you broke every single finger on your hand and you had medical insurance, you would pay your deductible and the medical insurance would cover to fix your entire hand. Let's use the same example with dental insurance. If you broke every single finger on your hand and you had dental insurance to cover it, the dental insurance company would say, okay, we'll pay for this finger this year, we'll pay for this finger the next year, the third year we'll pay for the third finger, and so on, right? This is ludicrous. Nobody would ever do that. So when you get the response of, let's just do this year whatever my insurance covers, and then we'll do the rest next year. When you use that example, you help people see that if you wait for a dental insurance company to pay for your health and that investment that's so important, you are going to create so many more problems down the road because you didn't deal with the issue on the front end. So use that analogy to help people see that dental insurance isn't actually insurance. It's a benefit that we will help you maximize, but it has nothing to do with your long-term health. The eighth phrase that we use consistently is, listen, your mouth is the gateway to your body. The vast majority of what enters your body passes through your mouth with eating, drinking, and breathing. Therefore, this is a really important investment to make. By making the oral systemic connection, people see you as more authoritative, that you're not just some tooth mechanic, that you're actually a doctor, and they see their mouth as an investment than their health. Just like any other part of their health, taking probiotics, taking their blood pressure, taking vitamins, going to get checkups at the physician, people want to be healthy. And when you make their mouth an actual part of their body, they will want to make the investment to make sure that their oral health is optimized. The ninth phrase that we use consistently is, listen, the best dentistry is no dentistry. I got this phrase from Dr. John Kois at the Kois Center, but what this does is it helps people see that you're conservative, that you're not going to recommend anything that isn't absolutely necessary, that your teeth and your gums, these are the only part of your exoskeleton that once removed, it does not grow back. When you pre-frame with this phrase, and then you still need to recommend something, people know that it must be absolutely necessary if you really follow the mantra of the best dentistry is no dentistry. Anything that's recommended must be serious. The 10th phrase that I use almost always on every single new patient is, listen, you've come into our practice, you are stepping into our home, I consider you like my family now, and I'm only going to recommend to you what I would recommend to my own family. By doing this, people feel a sense of trust. If it was your mouth, if it was your wife's mouth, your family member's mouth, what would you do? By setting them up with this key phrase, they again know that if you were going to recommend anything for their health, it is absolutely necessary and for their best interest. Here's my call to action to you. Take these 10 phrases that we just went over. Use them if you want to. Come up with your own, put your own spin on it. But whatever you do, come up with phrases that you feel like land with patients well, that are authentic, that get the right tone and authority across. But my suggestion to you is rehearse it. Don't practice on live patients. Practice with your staff, practice with your family. Think about the tone in which you deliver the lines. Think about the way that you make eye contact. Think about your hand motions. These phrases that I've come up with work for me, and they can work for you too. Whatever you decide, Make sure that you are rehearsing how to communicate effectively so that you can improve case acceptance and build the practice that you want.